Discovering a problem with your foundation can leave homeowners feeling worried and unsure about what to do next. Keep calm and call the team at Norcal Ram Jack. And here to share more is BK Amenworth. Welcome, BK.
Hey, thanks for having us.
We're happy to have you on. So tell us, what is Ram Jack and what do you do?
Okay, so Ram Jack is a company. We specialize in foundation support, foundation issues, foundation settlement issues. So in our area, it's pretty common, certain geographical areas where foundations sink. And we can get into some of those things that homeowners might see that would prompt them to call us. But essentially what we're able to do is level a foundation, get it structurally sound and stop it from moving.
So how can homeowners know if their house has foundation problems?
A lot of it's just foundation issues will express themselves in a couple ways. From the outside, you can see stucco cracking, doors that won't shut that used to shut, or seasonally. In the winter they shut, and in the summer they're impossible to get open. Drywall cracking. Another indicator a lot of times, even from driving by on the street, is you'll see a garage door where you can roll a tennis ball under one side and the other side it's tight.
Okay.
So some of those things are indications of foundation settlement issues, and you know, when you see those things, especially if you've continued to fill a crack and 2 years later you're filling that crack again, or now the window doesn't lock and it gets progressively worse, you probably have a foundation settlement issue. And the one thing I know is foundations will not solve their own problems. It is something that needs a proactive approach for sure.
All right, and it has to get resolved. So how can those foundation problems be resolved?
So we have a system where we have a thing called a helical pile, and we drive those down past what we refer to as the zone of influence. So this portion of soil that's not stable, that expands and contracts, there's a lot of clay in our area. So we drive this helical pile into the ground to where an engineer kind of typically figures a 2 or 2.5 times safety factor. So they will calculate the weight of their house and they will engineer it to where our helical piles are able to lift at least 2 times that. At that point, you almost need to see it, but we end up lifting the house up and get it level. And how we do that is we take a level survey before and after, and our estimators go out, and even before, which is free for homeowners, we go out and we do a level survey. So we take a machine that takes the elevation of your whole floor plan of your house, and it does not even have the ability to lie. It just gives empirical data, and it'll say, look, this part of the house is down 2 inches, this part's high, and then we come up with a plan to solve that.
All right, and how long does your solution at Ram Jack last?
It is for the life of the structure. So if you own the house, for instance, and you called us, if you sold the house, if you gave the house to a child, to one of your kids, it could be sold 4 or 5 times. It stays with the life of the structure. So as long as that house is there and that foundation is there, our warranty is good.
Okay, that's good to know. What other services do you offer?
You know, some of the things that lead to foundation issues are poor drainage, concrete sloping towards the house, downspouts or gutters that just pour out into planter boxes. So we offer services like that. We do offer concrete if you need concrete removed and repoured. Our main focus is the foundation, but we offer all the services that kind of go along with that, right? We do have a couple things we can use, carbon fiber stitches, if you're noticing vertical or horizontal cracks in your foundation, that will stop that from continuing to separate.
All right, and so if someone chooses to go with Norcal Ram Jack, how long does an evaluation usually take?
You know, typically the estimator is there between 1 and 3 hours. It kind of depends on what they find. And if you have what they call raised foundation, they spend a little time in the crawl space crawling around. So those take a little longer, but typically 1 to 3 hours.
Okay, that's good to know. And how far does Ram Jack travel for evaluations and repairs?
So from Sacramento, we go to about Santa Rosa, Cazadero. We'll go out to the coast, and typically south we go to about Modesto, all the way to Lake Tahoe. So, you know, basically if you took about 140, 150 mile radius from Sacramento, that's where we'll work.
All righty, BK, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having us.
You
Appreciate
bet.
it.
You
Thanks.
bet.
Have a great day.
You too. And for more from your local foundation repair experts, visit ramjack.com.